Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So this is gonna be the third part of NumPy. Here we will learn some basic operations that were left out from the last video. So after this video, I think we will be continuing to the mathematical operations that we can perform with the help of NumPy. So without further ado, let's start with the video. So first of all, I will import NumPy. So the first property or function of today's video will be our linspace. Basically, we have to pass a range over here. So let's consider 1 to 20. Then after, we will provide 5 over here. So now you can see we are having an array of 5 elements. The range is 1 to 20. So basically what linspace will do is it will give us 5 elements in the range of 1 to 20, which will be linearly spaced. So let's move towards our next property. So our next property is I. np. Let us pass 4 over here. Let me run it. What I function basically does is, this will generate a 4x4 matrix because I have given the value over here as 4. So all the diagonal values you can see over here in the matrix will be 1 and the rest of the values will be 0 in the matrix. Similarly, we can, like, if you are giving input as 4 or if you're giving input as 4 cross 4, both of this are same. The meaning of both are same. So what we are getting over here is diagonal element as 1 and the rest of the value will be 0. Yeah, one important thing over here that we should keep in our mind, this is a square matrix, right? We are having 4 rows and 4 columns. That's why we are getting result as this. So let us consider a non-square matrix. So what I'll do, I'll pass 3 rows over here and let's execute this. What it is doing over here is starting element. So how we set the diagonal, this should be the diagonal in a square matrix. If it is not a square matrix, then it will start off with the first element, then diagonally it will map once and the rest values will be 0. Let's move towards our next property, that is np.diag, and I will pass 10, 20, 30, and if I'll press enter. So what this basically doing is it will create an array and we will have all the diagonal elements as the value we have given into the array, right? So whatever the input that we are giving as the values or elements of the diagonal matrix will be mapped over here diagonally. Let me create a 2-dimensional array. So let's consider x is equal to np.array, then this is a 2D array. We will do just np.of x. And you can see over here, it is printing the diagonal element. So that is 1 and 4. 1 and 4. So let us take a square matrix. Yeah, now this is a square matrix, and if you'll do this, so you can see 1 and 4, you get only the diagonal values of the array or the matrix. So our next property is randint. So basically random is a module inside of NumPy. So we have to import randint from our randint. And let's say I'm giving a value 2 and then 10, then so now you can see what basically it is doing. So this is basically printing 5 numbers in between 1 to 10 randomly. Any random number we can get. So if I'll execute it once more, then you can see these are changed. This is random numbers between 2 to 10. So we have to specify a range over here. Then we have to specify the number, like the number of elements that we need. So if I'll do 8 over here, Now you can see we have 8 elements randomly generated between the range that we have specified. So our next property is np.random, and here we will specify 3. So you can see we have an array which consists of 3 values, and these 3 values gonna be in between 0 and 1. If you specify over here, let's say I'm specifying 10. So here I'll get 10 numbers, but the range is the same, every number lies in between 0 to 1. So this is the specialty about this property. You can get any number like 100. So now you will get 100 numbers generated in between 0 to 1. Right? So let's move on to our next property, that is randn. np.random. Now let's say I'm passing 6 over here. It generates an array and the numbers here will be closer to 0. You will be always getting values that are closer to 0. So here you can also have negative numbers, because it doesn't matter if the number is negative or positive. It will generate those numbers which are closer to 0. Let's move towards our next property, and that is seed. So I'll copy this and I'll paste it over here. Let me change it a bit. So let's say we are initializing, we are getting 5 numbers, and yeah, so what this basically was doing, it was giving us an array having 5 elements in the range of 1 to 10, and they are randomly generated. If I want to generate the same number again and again, so I'll specify over here random.seed. So let's say I'm giving the value of seed as 0, and I'll execute it, and now you will get an array with the same 5 elements, but this time this will not change if I'll rerun the program. So now you can see I'm rerunning the program, but the values are not changing. But if I'll comment it out, now here you can see 463. Yeah, so if I'll rerun it, 799, 889. So the combination of the numbers are changing if I'll not specify the seed value. If I'm setting a seed over here and the value is, let's say, 0, so you will get always the same number, and the value you can change it, you can give it 121 also. Again, this combination of number will not be changed if you'll give 121 as seeds value. This is across platform. So if you'll try in your system also, if you're giving a range as 1 to 10, and if you want 5 numbers, then if you're specifying 1 to 1, then you'll get the similar number, where we are using randint and seed. So this is not called as randomly generated. This is basically called as pseudo random generation of numbers. So that's it for the video, and we will continue to learn NumPy in our next videos, and probably the next video will be containing some mathematical operations, so that will be very interesting. Being said that, let's end the video over here, and if you have any doubt, you can ask me in the comment section. Do like, share and subscribe as a sign of appreciation. This is Navneet signing off.